a big group of enemies, you know what that's good for? Me missing all of my shots when I brainstormer. Hell yeah, dude, that killed him too. You got the speeds now. Oh, let's watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. They just disappeared. I don't know where they went. It's a really good shield. Ooh, the audio there just like straight up disappeared. Yikes. Titan, is that the big boss? Is this the last enemy? Easy peasy, boys. Slaughter Shaft no longer difficult. We figured it out. That is Slaughterhouse. Mayhem. These were our modifiers. We had no bonus damage to our guns because we were using pistols. We're using SMGs and shotguns, so no bonus damage. Unfortunately, they had less taking damage from corrosive, and all of them are armored. So that was kind of a pain, but we were able to put up with it and kill them pretty easily. Yo guys, what is up? Moxsy here with another Borderlands 3 video, and today we are going to be doing my in-depth build guide for, I think, the best build I've come up with yet, and definitely the best build for running Slaughter Shaft in Mayhem 3 True Hunter mode. I've tested this build days and days and days, and I'm really excited to share it with you guys. Right now I'm just going to show you guys why I named the build the way we did. It's a throwback to Borderlands 2 and the class mod in that gave Maya crazy speed. And yeah, this is how it works. Alright, pretty cool, pretty cool. So let's respec. We'll put the points in and we'll talk about everything about the build, the synergies. We'll do point for point why I put that points in, because I put a lot of thought and effort into this build. And we'll first start talking about the gear and the guns. Now this build has a core to it, and then for you guys that have the good gear or want to know how to perfectly optimize this build, we'll go into that. But to start off, we are going to be using a cash-infused brainstormer. Any brainstormer is fine. A level 26 sellout pistol. If you've seen my other videos, you've seen me using this. We use this pistol because of its it shoots 3 pellets at once, it has splash damage, and has very high ignite chance, meaning that anytime we shoot the ground or our feet, we are going to ignite. This is from a mission reward from Tyrene. It's a mission called Sellout on Eden 6. So, great gun to have. You don't need it, but it is my preferred choice just because it'll ignite us every time and it makes life easy. We're going to be using 2 crossroads. Once again, you can use any guns for this, but I've found that the crossroads are absolutely shred through enemies. I like having a fire one and a corrosive one for slaughter shaft and most content. And then the brainstormer will be our shock weapon. We're using the Zen Recharger Unanointed Shield. I've tried this out with the backstop or the backham, the stopgap, the transformer, the Rough Rider, and out of all of them, with my testing, unanointed and unanointed and anointed, this was the one that I liked the most and the one that I never went down while using. We're using a Phase Zerker class mod. Now, the Phase Zerker class mod is an amazing class mod. A lot of people I've seen have been using it a little wrong, and we'll go into that. But look for a Phase Zerker class mod. If you can get one with SMG damage and fire rate, you are going to be golden for this build. I carry a lot around with me, so I have one with shotgun damage, sniper rifle damage. This is Jacob's weapon critical damage for our sweet, sweet Rowan's calls, but you do not need this. It is going to boost your damage up a lot. So keep your eye out for these and try to have a few if you can, because it'll just make you more versatile. Now we're using the Elemental Projector Launchpad. Once again, you need an Elemental Projector. An Elemental Projector is crucial for this build. This is the one piece of gear that you absolutely need to be able to do this, and that is because while we're suffering from an elemental infect, we're going to increase our damage with that same element. What that means is when we shoot ourselves with a sellout, we're going to ignite ourselves on fire. While we're suffering from fire damage, we're going to be doing 183% increased fire damage. Now wait, what if you want to do corrosive damage? Well, the sellout switches between incendiary and corrosive. So if you need to deal with a tough armored enemy, shoot yourself with corrosive. Now you have 183% increased corrosive damage, and you will shred through that armor in one burst. We have a recurring hex grenade that is anointed. You guys don't need to use this. I'd recommend either a cryo hex or like a shocking stormfront. Grenade's not really important. We don't throw our grenades that much, but it is nice to have a good grenade that can either slow enemies down or strip their shields. And now let's get into the build. So for the build, once again, there's going to be, I'll go over the build that we're going to be using for Slaughter Shaft and then the build that you would use for anything else. I really wanted to, I stumbled upon Slaughter Shaft the other day and found that it was some of the hardest endgame content to do. So many enemies are crazy powerful and have rocket launchers and can kill you very easily. This build is the build that I've found can run through it the easiest and the fastest. We run through Slaughter Shaft very, very quickly, and it's great because Slaughter Shaft is some of the best legendary farm that I've seen. I've gotten Crossroads, Cutspins, Lyuda, Brainstormers, lots of crazy stuff. Not a great farm for class mods, but if you're looking for really good guns and you want to be able to do this and not die, this is the build for you. So let's first start off with Anima. We're going 5 out of 5 into Anima. If you have a class mod, the Phase Zerker class mod gives us points into Anima, which is brilliant because when we shoot ourselves with the sellout, this dot is going to be our damage boost. Now, the longer this dot lasts for us, the more time that we are going to have our damage boost. So Anima synergizes brilliantly with this. Next, we're going to get Tempest. 5 out of 5 into Tempest is a no-brainer. This is elemental damage. We are going to be doing all elemental damage. Next, we're going 5 out of 5 into Wildfire. Now, I tried this build out with Infusion. As you've seen in my previous videos, I don't like Infusion. It is broken. I wanted to see if we could use it without using any shock weapons and see if it was better. In performance tests, it was not better, and we I decided we were going 5 out of 5 into Wildfire. It helps us out more, and I would not recommend using Infusion with this because we don't need it. And I'll go over that in a second. Next, we're going to get Dread, which is great. Dread synergizes really well with Deep Well. This is going to give us bonus damage while an enemy is grasped, and if we can kill that enemy while they're grasped, then we get an instant reload. So having more bullets in their mag so that we can get that kill while they're grasped works really well. Indiscriminate is a great skill. So Indiscriminate is going to boost our ricochet chance and further increase it while an enemy is phase grasped. While using guns like a Crossroads and a Brainstormer that shoot a lot of bullets very quickly, your bullets are going to be going everywhere, and we're going to be doing so much damage that I've seen ricochets one-shot enemies. It's crazy. Next, we're going into Sustainment, 5 out of 5 in Sustainment. Sustainment does not work from elemental dots or grenade damage. It works from gun damage. However, things like the Brainstormer's Chain, as you guys saw in the clips before this, the Brainstormer's Chain actually counts for elemental gun damage instead of a dot. So the Brainstormer you can use like a Moxsy weapon almost. In a big group, the bullets will chain and they'll keep chaining. You can shoot one chain, get all that health, and while it's chaining, pull out your Crossroads and do a lot of damage. Our Crossroads will be doing enough damage that we can full heal ourselves with one burst, which is great. And we're getting Forceful Expression. Forceful Expression adds this bonus damage. It's not like Infusion. We can't lose any damage from Forceful Expression. And we're going to be keeping our attunement to Shock. We're going to be using Shock so that our Crossroads can punch through shields very quickly. We will just ignore shields. Now for the skill, we are going to be using Ties That Bind. Ties That Bind is an amazing skill for large groups of enemies, and it has a very short cooldown. Its cooldown is 18 seconds, and we'll be going why 18 seconds is so important in a second. We have Ties That Bind, which is going to link targets while they're linked. Not only are rounds going to be ricocheting on their own, but they're also going to be sharing damage. So this, if you get a good Ties That Bind off in a large group, shoot yourself and fire a burst of a Crossroad into an enemy, everything will die. It is amazing, and what helps us clear this out so fast. We're using Allure as our augment because Allure is a hard CC basically. When we pop it, all the enemies around will get pulled up into the air. They won't be able to shoot. It takes a lot of damage off of us, and we'll be able to get our heal off while shooting at the enemies without taking any more damage. So this is super helpful for us. Would recommend. And next, we're going to go over to the blue tree. Now, the blue tree is very easy, but you guys are going to question me, and I'll explain why we do this. We're going to put 1 point into Violent Tapestry. That is all. 1 point, no more. We're going to go over the green tree. Why do we put 1 point in the blue tree and Mystical Assault into Violent Tapestry? That is because of our Phase Zerker class mod. Now, our Phase Zerker class mod bases our damage off of our rush stacks. So the more rush stacks we have, the more damage we're going to get. Amara gains 3% weapon damage and 10% action skill cooldown rate based on the number of rush stacks. We're only going to get 5 rush stacks from this on its own. 5 times 3 is 15% increased damage. If you go Violent Tapestry, you're going to get another bonus 10 rush stacks. This 10 rush stacks plus this 15 is going to give us, plus 5 is going to give us 15 rush stacks. That's 45 damage. It is a essential part of using the Phase Zerker is to put a point into this. You are going to be boosting your damage a lot just with this 1 point because of our class mod, and any build that is using a Phase Zerker that doesn't have at least 1 point into Mystical Assault is just doing it wrong. So just keep an eye out for that. Next, we're going to be going into the green tree. We're going into the green tree for our sustain and our tankiness. Now, we don't need to grab much damage here because our elemental damage is going to be off the charts. So here, we're going to be putting 2 points into personal space. It would be nice if we had an extra point, but we don't have one to spare. So we're going 5 into 5 in Root to Rise. Root to Rise is going to give us a bigger health bar. A bigger health bar means that we are harder to take down. Our health bar is going to be what's out most of the time because our shield isn't going to be up that much. And because we have a bigger health bar, we'll be healing to full with our crossroads, and it'll be harder for enemies to take us down. This is just going to increase our survivability. Next, we're going 5 out of 5 into Helping Hands. This gives us damage reduction 40% on a 15-second duration. Now, with our Guardian rank, we have action skill cooldown rate, and on our Elemental Projector, we have action skill cooldown rate. So we are going to be able to keep up Helping Hands all the time. We should have Helping Hands up constantly. We are going to have a flat 40% damage reduction against us always. That is incredible for this because everything's going to hit really hard. But unfortunately, even with this in Slaughter Shaft, things can still kill us. And because things can still kill us, and every single enemy in that godforsaken place is a rocket launcher, if you've done it yourself, you know, we need arms deal. These points into arms deal, I've tested it without it, and I've tested with it, and this is going to help us so much. With the splash damage reduction, we are going to be able to eat rocket launchers. You'll be able to out-sustain rocket launchers, and it is great and really important to have. Now, if this is where the build varies, though, because if you're not doing Slaughter Shaft, you don't need these points in here. We're not doing splash damage, so and we're not getting hit by rocket launchers in like proving grounds. So if you aren't doing Slaughter Shaft, I would move these points elsewhere. Where would we put these points? I would put these points into personal space to max out personal space and get more points with nature. Next, we're going into mindfulness. Mindfulness is our movement skill. With mindfulness, we're getting shield recharge delay, which is going to help our shield stay up more often, and we're also getting movement speed. Now this movement speed in a place like Slaughter Shaft, where it's you need to get behind cover, you need to get to enemies, you're trying to be as fast as possible and clear as fast as possible, this movement speed is great. However, we only get this movement speed when we get shot, and sometimes it's hard to get 25 stacks. In fact, it's pretty rare to get 25 stacks without inflicting harm to ourselves. So that's what we're doing. Every time we shoot once or twice, you are going to get full stacks. 25, no problem. The dot is going to instantly give us these 25 stacks. And this is going to make us insanely fast every time we're in Slaughter Shaft. We will have that movement speed and that shield recharge delay. And so by shooting ourselves, we're actually giving ourselves more survivability, which is crazy, and it is one of my favorite parts of this build. This synergizes so well because we're shooting ourselves, we're giving ourselves more damage, movement speed, and tankiness. It is insane, it works so well, and it's so much fun to do. So this alone is the reason I named the build the way I did, and you guys are going to have a blast doing this because you move so fast. Now we have 1 point left, right? That 1 point left is going to be into Guardian Angel. Guardian Angel will, even though we're really tanky, if we do go down, we come right back up. Max health restored is 50% of max health. They recently nerfed this. However, if you're into your Guardian rank and you have Resilient, you will revive with full health. So, not a problem that they nerfed that. We'll still get up with all of our health. So this is the build. We don't take one with nature, and we take Root to Rise instead because Root to Rise is more health. We need the more health. This damage reduction to our action skill element isn't actually going to help us because our shield is going to be down a lot. So this damage reduction to shock isn't that important. We'd rather have damage reduction to fire. Since we have a Zen Recharger on and we're shooting ourselves with a fire pistol, we are going to get resistances from fire just from that, which is awesome. So that's great. For this build, you're going to be looking for, if you're looking for perfect gear, you want a low-level sellout, a Brainstormer that's times 14 is better. I have one, but for the gameplay I was using a times 7, so I'll show you that. and looking for if you can get like an anointed crossroads like this, you're golden. You'll be doing stupid, stupid, stupid damage. But this build doesn't require any anointeds. You guys can do this without, and that's very important to me. I don't want to make a build that's super reliant on anointed gear because that's just hard to get and hard to achieve. So you guys don't need that. This build works great wherever you go, whatever you want to do. It's amazing. This interaction between the sellout and the elemental projector is incredible, and we're super versatile because we can switch out whatever we want our phase zerker with whatever we want to do. If we want to use sniper rifles, if we want to use shotguns, if we want to use Rowan's calls, we're good. We can switch the build up on a fly, and the general core of this, whatever kind of gun you want to use, is amazing. My playstyle when I do with this is I shoot myself, run around real fast. If I see a big group, I hit them with the Brainstormer just to strip all of their shields, give me a lot of health regen, pull out the crossroads, and just melt everything. It's a lot of fun. I really recommend you guys give this a try. I've been testing this build out for a long time, done a lot of trials. Unfortunately, I made this exact video yesterday, and I accidentally recorded it in 720p, so this is my second time editing and doing the whole video again. So I put a lot of effort into this, guys. I really hope you enjoyed, learned something. Give this build out a try. I'd appreciate a like, comment, share this with your friends. This build is going to take over this game. It is incredible, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!